and also promoting our mental well-being. So stick and stay. We'll let more people join, and then we'll get the speaker on shortly. Let me check quickly if she has already joined. Then we will start the conversation. Thank you. Okay, so our speaker has already joined us. Hello, Miss Naa. Please, if you can hear me, can you unmute yourself?
Hi, good evening.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us. Can I call you Miss Naa, or I can say Madam Mental?
Any of them is fine by me.
Okay, all right. Thank you. Thank you for honoring our invitation.
Thank you for
To those who
having
have
me.
already joined us, I'll quickly introduce, just give a background of our speaker, and then we can go on with the discussion as time is not on our side. Okay, so please, if you haven't shared the link, please share for others to also join in, because this is a very important topic. We all need to take care of ourselves and promote our mental well-being. So, Miss Naa Okailey, also known as Madam Mental, is a psychologist, and today she's going to talk to us about self-care, taking care of ourselves, and how it's related to our mental health. Okay, Madam Mental, I'll let you do the rest of the introduction, and then you can get straight into the topic. Thank you.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Do we have gentlemen or it's only ladies?
I think some gentlemen registered, but I don't know if they've already joined.
Okay, so good evening, ladies and gentlemen. And thank you for having me. My name is Na. As mentioned already, I'm a psychologist. Um, Essentially, I help people thrive and manage everyday stresses. I also do corporate trainings like we have now, and for companies also. For me, everything mental health is all that I have passion for. Um, but then apart from mental health, I also do take care of myself outside working within the scope. I like to eat. I like food. So yeah, so I'm just like all of you here, um, living life, taking it a day at a time, and just doing the best we can to help people prioritize their well-being. So that's about me. Um, I'll hand over back to the host, and then once the session rules up, we start the conversations. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for the brief but deep introduction. I love the food part. Yeah, we all love food. So, okay. So, to those of us who are still sharing the link, I think we have a good number. Or can we wait for like some few minutes and start? Miss Nad, do you want us to wait for like some few minutes for others to join, or we can
Um,
start?
Maybe we could give them another 5 minutes and start properly at
Okay.
7.
All right. All right. That's fine.
How
Thank you
many
so
people do
much.
we have now? 11 people.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Others are still joining, so I think we can allow some 5 minutes, and then.
Okay.
All right.
Sure.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, so I think we can start. The others can join in and still follow the conversation. Those who are already connected, if you have any questions during the presentation, you can use the chat box to drop those quick questions, and then in due time, Miss Now will address them, or anyone to whom it's addressed will address them. Okay, so Miss Now, I think we can start now. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Abigail. Um, we are all welcome once again. And I know this is supposed to be a very short session, and I'll be as brief and as practical as possible. Self-care is it has become a household name. It's gradually becoming some sort of a cliche. But then the real deal about self-care and how it improves our well-being overall is one aspect of life that we cannot underestimate. Now, like I said, I'll be making this as practical as possible. I'll try and share my screen so that um, so if you can see my screen, kindly let me know. And if you can see a presentation displayed, kindly let me know so that I proceed. So because I'm sharing my screen, I may not be seeing any messages that will be coming. I don't know why. Maybe because I'm using my laptop. But if if everyone can see my screen, then yeah. So the topic I was given was that self-care is not all about bubble baths. And when I read it, I was like, how many of us even have baths in our homes? Talk less of making a bubble. You understand? So sometimes these ideologies make self-care seem a little bit abstract, and people are like, but yeah, we are taking care of ourselves. So what is it really about? So we will dive deeper into how we can personalize self-care, the impact of self-care on our overall well-being and mental health, and then even the understanding generally about self-care, so that from tonight onwards, you start becoming intentional, you start becoming personal with some of the things that you do. In fact, some of these things are things we do on a regular, but we have not taken into consideration how it's improving or deteriorating our well-being. So then we don't even consider it as part of self-care. So how are we going to redefine self-care beyond, all the aesthetics? But then let's start with a quick check-in. Um, this one I want to see. Okay. Please, can you still see my presentation?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So let's start with a quick check-in. Sharifa started with an icebreaker, and it means you are already in tune with what I had in mind today. That um some of the everyday occurrences that we go through is enough for us to use as check-in. And that is how we are going to dive into the conversation of self-care. So if you can show by hands, right, how many of you, or if in the last 2 to 3 weeks you have been feeling tired, there's this unexplained fatigue even after sleeping you still wake up and you are feeling tired? If you can show by hands. Okay. Have you been having frequent headaches? For a lot of people, you end your day, and if you don't take a painkiller, or you don't, you know, sleep, knock yourself off, you understand, you end up having a lot of headaches, or you end your day with a lot of headaches. Do you realize that you are gaining weight in your face and lower abdomen? So in Ghana, they'll tell you that, oh, why you fine? It's a sign of good living. But if you've observed that you are gaining weight, your face is looking chubbier than it used to be, or you are and flat tummy are becoming parallel lines. So we started a personal conversation. These are everyday symptoms, or these are random things that we experience on a daily, that a lot of us tend to have lower belly fat. No matter how much you diet, no matter how much you do your planks and whatever, you realize that there is this pouch beneath there that has decided to stay and will not go away. Do you realize that you are craving more sugary and salty foods lately? Has anyone made that observation? That lately you are craving for a lot of sugary stuff, a lot of salty stuff. You are eating a lot of popcorn, a lot of chocolates, Yeah. Do you realize that your hair is thinning? Your hairline is receding. You are getting bald. If you're a guy, you are experiencing significant baldness. And for many ladies, you realize that your hair is breaking. Have you observed anything like this? Okay. Do you find yourself waking up frequently in the night? So you're able to sleep, but by morning, you've woken up about 6 to 7 times. So you're unable to have free flow of sleep all through the night. Please take note of all these as symptoms. Even though we are doing a quick check-in, I need you to pay attention if you are observing any of these changes within you. Do you find yourself struggling to wake up in the morning? This one, even me, I'm part. So yes. Once it's morning, your alarm you are just snoozing your alarm, and you feel like you wish you would not have to wake up. Let me sleep a little bit more. Do you find yourself, or have you found yourself crying for no reason? Have you found yourself crying for no reason? Sometimes the only reason is that, like, you feel tired, like I'm tired, and suddenly it turns into tears. Do you find yourself scrolling through your phone all day, all night? This one, all of you have to say yes, even me. You find yourself scrolling through your phone all day. If you can't go about 20 minutes, if you can't find your phone, you're like, hey, where's my phone? You know, you have to be scrolling something. You have to be looking through something. For some people, even if they are not on their phone, they cannot eat. There has to be a screen beside them before they can eat. And finally, do you find yourself feeling nervous, stuck, or having some form of brain fog? So if we say brain fog, you suddenly feel like your brain goes blank, you're experiencing forgetfulness. You can walk into a room and you're like, I came here to pick something. Or you open your fridge, you are looking for something in the fridge, but suddenly you open the fridge and you've forgotten why you opened the fridge. So those are signs of brain fog. So at least a number of us bear witness that we are experiencing or have experienced some of these concerns or these symptoms. And these are little signs. There's a whole list. I could go on and on and on, but like I said, we are strained for time. So these and many more symptoms are indicators of your body telling you that there's something going on. Our body always gives us signals. People say that stress is a silent killer. Stress is never silent because all these symptoms, if you have observed it at some point in your life or you are still currently experiencing it, this is stress talking to you, or this is your brain giving you signs, giving you hints that there's a certain energy that you are exposing me to that I am not happy with. It may be silent, it may be profound, but if you have observed more than three of these symptoms I outlined, please do a quick check in with yourself. For some people, even if their phones are not with them for the next 5 minutes, they cannot function. So I like to equate your well being to your phone. Again, we are being practical here so that you can apply this to your life with or without a professional. Now, when we look on the screen, you find a long bar. So this is what we call the well-being continuum, where there's a green bar rolling all through to a red bar. As psychologists, we are hoping that everybody will be running within the green bar. So at that point, you are what we call healthy. You are thriving. You are eating well. You are sleeping well. You are managing the everyday stresses of your life in a healthy manner. The check-in session we did, most of those symptoms are not really profound in you. Then we can say that you are healthy or you are thriving. But the moment certain things start happening, sleep is impaired, you are scrolling through your phone constantly, you are crying or breaking down for no reason, you feel tired, you are suddenly feeling this nervousness, this like there's no way forward for me, you feel stuck. And a lot of people say that I'm tired. But the details of that tiredness, most times we do not know, except we have someone to help us explore. So the moment those little symptoms come in, it means you are beginning to react to something. And there are a lot of things that we can find around us that brings us into the reaction phase. So either your work is beginning to take a toll on you, either you are not eating well. We'll talk about eating as we progress. You are not sleeping well. The moment you deprive the brain and the body of quality sleep, it will start telling you, it will start talking to you. And sometimes it will manifest in some of the symptoms we went through before. So you realize that now you are beginning to experience common distresses. You are becoming easily irritable. You are having constant headaches. You feel this tightness in your chest. You are having blur vision for some people. So this is your body telling you that it is reacting to something and you need to start sitting with yourself to talk about it, to assess, do an introspection of what is happening so that you can start repairing those incidents. Now, if you still don't listen to your body and the little reactions it is giving you, now you are moving it to what we call the injury phase. So here, you may start experiencing severe, impairment in your well-being. And there's no time frame for this. We are all different. Our thresholds are different. So some people may operate in the reacting phase for 5, 10 years, and they'll tell you that, but this is how I've always been. I'm always, I'm always having migraines, and I'm always taking this medication. So they may be within that reacting phase for a long time, and it even becomes part of their lives. For some people, if you have a shorter threshold, within the first 3 to 6 months, you will move into your injury phase. And when we say the injury phase, that is where you, apart from your brain, your body, major organs in your body will also begin to react to the situation. So this is where you may be exposed to cardiovascular diseases like hypertension, diabetes, um, kidney problems, URI, urinary infections, and little. I don't even call them little because these are profound conditions that can be managed lifelong if it is not detected early. If you also have the mental health aspect of it, that is where you have your anxiety, skyrocketing. That is where you start having major depressive episodes or major depressive symptoms, loss of interest, loss of appetite, um, feeling like you have to withdraw. Everything around you feels like it's noisy. It means your body is telling you something. We are moving into your injury phase. If you still don't listen to your injury demands, that is where you are now moving into a disorder phase. So by that time, you have developed a full-blown hypertension or full-blown diabetes, or that is where your kidney problems become chronic. And we can attest to the fact that young people in our generation now are picking up a lot of these illnesses, and you're like, wait, how did we get here? That is because lifestyle and generational demands have made, research is currently telling us that we are currently the most stressful generation. Why? Because too many discoveries have come to meet us, and we need to meet up to the demands of all those discoveries. Back in the day, the need to be relevant was different. All you need is to have a wife, children, and a car, and have your house, and you are fine. But now, even having the latest gadget is also something that people ascribe to achieve. Apart from having kids, the quality of life that you even want for them and yourself have changed. I went to a regular community school, but now everybody wants their child to go to some Montessori or something. So it means that your financial demands will also change as per our parents and our grandparents. So you realize that the stress in today's world is much more than we anticipated, and it is not going to change. Because this year, iPhone will release iPhone 17, people will want to buy it. So your financial taste, your demands, all these things are evolving. The cost of living, cost of accommodation, all these things are beginning to take a huge toll on our generation. And unfortunately, there's very little we can do about it, but there's a lot more we can do for ourselves. And that is where self care comes in. So if you move into your illness phase, there you are going to have lifelong conditions, chronic illnesses, including cancer and mental health disorders like schizophrenia, bipolar disorders. And mind you, if you already have predispositions to these conditions, you not taking care of yourself makes it easier for you to develop them. So if you have a family history of diabetes, it's very easy for you to pick up the traits of diabetes the moment you are not living well. I hope you are with me. So that is how our well-being, as basic as it is, can just transcend from little issues into bigger problems that we never saw coming. So when we talk about your mental health being very linked up to your physical health, this is the simple understanding of it. That it may start like normal work stress, or I'm not sleeping well, or I'm not eating well. Then by the time you realize, because you're not eating properly, your digestive system is going to struggle. Your brain will do as much as it can to create boosters for your gut health. But it is just a matter of time. Your brain is going to leave you alone. That you know what, I've done what I can. So that is where you pick up, gastritis, infections in your gastric systems, ulcer, and it just started from just one little thing. So now, how does this relate to our phones? I need you to just picture this. If your phone battery was maybe at 10%, for those of you who use iPhone users are always looking for the next charging slot to charge their phones. So imagine if your battery is falling flat, you've not had access to charge, or the lights are off, or you forgot your charger at home, and someone is calling you on video call or FaceTime. How many of you are going to pick up that call? Especially if it's not maybe even a life-threatening situation. How many of you are going to pick up that call? To risk your phone dying. So that is how protective we are of the energies from our phones. But are we that protective of our own energies? That when you are confronted with something, do you take time to assess that what energy level am I operating at? Am I well charged to receive this person, to receive this item, to receive this extra load? Do we do an introspection with our energy levels? So what we have to do to charge our batteries in terms of our phone is what we call self-care. Because if you don't charge your phone is going to die. But because you are not like your phone, your threshold, you are a human being, so you have much more capacity. Maybe it will take you 1 year to move from 100% to 80%. For someone, it will take them just 1 week. If sleep is not in place properly, if they are not eating well, if they are not well hydrated, if the workload is becoming too much, traffic is killing them, it's just a matter of 1 week, they'll break down entirely. So you need to know yourself. Self-awareness is very key in self-care. You cannot know what or you cannot take care of what you do not know. So if you don't know yourself, how do you tailor care to satisfy the needs of yourself? So anytime you pick up your phone and you see your phone battery percentage, try and replicate it to yourself. Ask yourself that, just take a second, that what energy am I currently at? What do I need to charge my battery to get to that optimum level where I can now, operate, I can receive, I can also give? Because if your battery is running low, there's very little you can do. And that is how the well-being continuum and our phone, the practicability of it. Like I said, for me, I like to relate everything to your everyday life so that very random things will always prompt you to take care of yourself. Now, once again, about self-care comes the topic of self-love. So I was thinking through, how do we teach self-care and self-love in a way that everybody can resonate with? And I came up with the 5 love languages that we all know. It is all over social media. Everybody's talking about love language, love language. If you love me, you need to speak my love language. You need to know my love language. But then I present to you this question that you yourself, do you know your love language? And have you spoken your love language to yourself before? Because if you want me to treat you in a certain type of way, yet I don't see you treat yourself that way, I don't think that you merit it. People will treat you how you teach them to treat you. And we teach people how to treat us by how we treat ourselves. So if you can put in the comment box, what is your love language? How many of us have identified our love languages? Because today we are going to start learning how to which to ourselves. So that before you go asking somebody's son or somebody's daughter to speak your love language, you are already speaking it to yourself. So what is your love language? Are you an act of service person? Are you a quality time person? Do you like physical touch? That is how you like people to express love to you. Or you like gifts? Or you like words of affirmation? So these are the 5 common love languages that we know. Which of them is your love language? So how are we going to marry love language and self-care? Now, with ourselves, for those who like physical touch, if physical touch is your love language, how are you caring for your body intentionally? So what are some of the things that we do to care for our bodies? How well are you sleeping? Sleep is the only time your mind and your body gets to recover the energy you have used for the day. Mind you, your body is like a machine. So imagine you turn on your car the whole day, whole night, your car is on, your engine doesn't go off. I don't know for how long your car will run before breaking down. So sleep is the only time that your brain cools down. It's the only time that major organs in your body, they detoxify themselves. So if you're not sleeping well, if you're not experiencing quality sleep, it means you are doing disservice to yourself. You find yourself scrolling through your phone, by the time you realize it's 1 a.m., hey, you have work tomorrow. And then you just manage to, scrap for 3 hours sleep because you have to be up by 5:30 to continue the cycle. So if your body and your mind is running on 3 hours sleep every night, and you are waking up feeling tired every day, then you know where it is coming from. That is where the introspection comes in. So now we have to go and visit what is affecting my sleep. Why am I staying so long behind the screens and falling asleep at this time? And let me bust your bubble. Nobody is nocturnal. No human being is. If you are not a bat, nobody is nocturnal. So if you say, "Oh, for me, I'm not a morning person. I am nocturnal. I'm more active in the night." It means you are by force turning, or you over time certain events have caused a reversal of the normal, because the brain begins to produce what we call melatonin in the evening. So around this time, it's 6:36. Your brain is beginning to increase melatonin supply in your body. So by 8 9 p.m., your bloodstream, if we should take your blood sample and test, we will find high dosages of melatonin. That's the sleep hormone, because your body has to shut down, and the only way that that mechanism runs is by the brain depositing the right hormones at the right time. Because the moment melatonin is high, the heart knows that, okay, I need to reduce um, pumping of blood. every other organ receives, they know they are in sync. That is how God or whoever you believe created us, created us. And the moment you do things to reverse it, for some time you confuse the body that wait, it's 9 p.m. Why is this girl jumping up and she's not sleeping? So the melatonin is sitting in your bloodstream. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? And once it is not being put to good use, it will start giving you signals. You are having joint pains. You are having this, you start beginning to have this funny feeling at the back of your neck. I don't know if any of you have experienced it. And all these are reactive, we've talked about the reactive phase, reactive symptoms to tell you that you are not doing something right. Now, eating well, increasing hydration. Your body is made up of about 70% water. So if you're not drinking enough water to continue lubricating your system, dehydration is one of the ways that make you feel exhausted and tired. If you're not eating well, for those of you who skip breakfast, this is for you. So some of you will wake up in the morning and your first meal of the day is around 11 a.m. It's unhealthy. Even if you don't eat anything at all, you can just get a cup of tea, maybe some biscuits on the side, just to fuel your body before you think of eating proper meals. Still in taking care of our body, and we are still talking about physical touch as an act of love to ourselves. Moving your body. Our lifestyle, again, part of the stress that has increased in this generation is how sedentary our lifestyles are. If you have a car, you are sitting in your car driving from one location to the other. You get to work, you use your elevator to climb to your office. You sit in your office for long hours, even your lunch break, you don't get up. You have ordered food. Someone will pick it up for you, or the only working you do is to go down and pick it up from the courier, come back, sit, eat, and you are there 5 o'clock. You get into a car again, go home, you are on your phone scrolling all through. So there's no proper physical activity. And I'm not even saying you should register at the gym. So we can start by taking a walk. Instead of using the elevator, this week I'm going to use the staircase. When you wake up in the morning, let your phone not be the first thing you are taking. When you wake up in the morning, you can do a little stretch. Get up from your bed, go and pee, drink water, do number two, and come back. So instead of picking your phone right after opening your eyes in the morning, you can use the first 10 minutes of waking up to, reboot the system. Other physical activities could be yoga, dancing. I used to like going to uh this place around TV3. I remember the name, but I used to go and do salsa and all of that. I don't
Africa.
Afrikiko. I don't know how to dance salsa. In fact, I have no interest in learning how to dance salsa. But I just go there before the real salsa people come and dance. They'll let everybody come on stage, just come and jump, follow the rhythm. Yes, I'll do all that. Make sure I sweat. And then I go home. So it's about how intentional you are in taking care of your body. You are showing physical affection to your body. Start a skincare routine. You don't have to look like all the things that you are going through. Sometimes just taking care of your skin, making your skin look good, doing the things that elevate your appearance increases your own mood also. Once in a while, you can get a massage. Every morning, hug yourself. When you wake up in the morning and you stand in the mirror and you look at yourself, what are the things you say to appreciate yourself? We'll look at that in words of affirmation. Hug yourself. When you start learning to be intimate with yourself, you realize that self care is not abstract at all, because every little thing you do, you know the impact it has on your well being. Now, words of affirmation. For those of us who receive love through words of affirmation, what are you saying to yourself? You speak to yourself in a way you will never speak to anybody, because if you speak to to people around you the way you speak to yourself, somebody will slap you one day. So start speaking to yourself with kindness, especially when you encounter mistakes. I don't know why people think that mistakes are not part of life. So please, as a psychologist, I'm telling you that mistakes are supposed to be part of your life. If you don't make mistakes, how would you learn? The only issue with mistakes is when you are not learning from your mistakes, but you continue to repeat them. That is where we need to sit down and have a conversation to explore why we are repeatedly making these mistakes. But mistakes are supposed to teach you lessons. When you hit your head on the wall, next time you are, even when there is darkness, you know that there's a wall here. For those of us who believe in writing or saying daily affirmations to ourselves, as part of hugging yourself, say nice things to yourself. When you wake up in the morning, you stand in the mirror as you are brushing your teeth. You are talking to yourself. Mention your name. Ah, Okailey, today you're looking good. Today is going to be a good day. Appreciate yourself. Say the things you want to hear people say to you. Say those things to yourself. Start shifting your mindset about things. What new information are you even learning about the things you think you know? So that you can start having different perspectives about the things that we hold dear, the belief systems that even make us feel like we cannot take care of ourselves or we don't deserve to take care of ourselves. For people who think that, oh, there's more sleep after death, so until they die, they will not rest. Okay, where did you get that ideology from? Why are you thinking that rest is only for when you die? What's the guarantee that you even rest in peace after you die? So why are you not, before you die, why don't you invest in living? Challenging negative thoughts. Again, it's about shifting mindsets. Irrational thoughts come every day, every now and then. But one thing you have to ask yourself is, these thoughts, is it true? If you feel like, okay, I made a mistake, so I'm a failure, and then that's the irrational thoughts telling you that you're a failure, can you start asking yourself, but wait, what is this failure teaching me? What can I learn from this failure? So, like I said, today we are we are being very practical, so that from tonight you can start writing down what you are going to do and what you are not going to do. That will be your assignment after this session. Now, acts of service, doing things that support your future self and even your current self. Learning to show up for yourself. You don't show up for yourself, you want me to come and show up for you. Who does that? Scheduling your doctor's appointment. If you're a woman and you are above 25, at least once a year, you need to go and see your gynae for a pap smear, a pap test. Go and have your breast examined. Check your blood pressure. Check your sugar level. If you are in your 30s, start taking the supplements you need to keep you, thriving. Start eating the meals that improve your overall well being. Declutter your space. You see that chair that we all have in the corner of our room where we will mount and heap clothes on? This week, please free the chair. Create routines that protect your energy. We have talked about energy using our phones. It's draining your energy. When you are using your phone, you know the apps that drain our energy. YouTube, this, that, video calls. So as much as possible, sometimes when we check our battery and we say, this YouTube crap is coming to kill my battery. So yes, we watch YouTube after we charge our phone. So this time we are looking at our own energy, the conversations that drain your energy. You don't have to be part of every office gist. Like, it doesn't make sense to you. Why are you giving it your energy? Why must you always have an opinion about something? We are being practical and we are being intentional. So if this conversation doesn't serve you, you don't have to be part of it. Just step away. If you believe in receiving gifts as a form of love, when last did you buy yourself something nice? Some of us, we are so stingy to ourselves. You will never buy anything for yourself, yet you are always asking people to buy stuff for you. Hey, the birthday bow now, mom, touch your mommy. You have you even bought yourself a birthday gift before? Have you bought yourself a birthday gift before? And this is not you faking it or anything. But if you don't think you deserve gifts, and you don't think that you should buy yourself the luxury that you deserve, then I don't know why you want to make it someone else's responsibility. So if you can afford it, don't be stingy to yourself. If you see something nice and it is relevant, not you buying things on impulse, you are scrolling through IG, every shop you see, you have to buy something there. No, then it means that one you're not being prudent. So if you have not celebrated your birthday already, this year, as your birthday is coming, start thinking of the gift you're going to give yourself for your birthday. Maybe it's just a purse, a nice wallet, you know, some nice sneakers, some shoe. It doesn't have to be expensive, but as long as you admire it, you like it, and you are happy about having that in your life, go for it. You can develop a comfort kit. So in charging our phone, we know that this is the charger we use to charge our phone. Now your comfort kit is what you use to recharge yourself. That at the end of every day, what do I do to recover, rejuvenate, and build back my energy that I've used that day? So it can be you. For me, I like tea, so that's why I put tea there. I try to drink a lot of, calming teas, chamomile. If you've never tried chamomile tea, maybe you could get chamomile tea, peppermint tea, green tea. These are herbal teas that help the body relax, help the body calm down. If you are good with journaling, at the end of the day, journal. Talk to yourself in your books. You can buy yourself a nice blanket, that this is my. So you see that chair that we are freeing this week, the chair that has our clothes on it. When you free that chair, please buy a nice blanket. You can just be in the corner there with your chair, cover yourself with your blanket, and read some books. Drink a cup of tea. Even if it is water, you can buy a wine glass and be drinking water in your wine glass. So sometimes it is just the very little things. Even when you have children, children can really be overwhelming, they take up all your space. So when your kids are asleep, you just take 5-10 minutes. Just sit in your corner somewhere. Get yourself a glass of wine. Get yourself a chilled glass of water. Get yourself, a cup of tea. Celebrate yourself. The very little things that, today I was able to, reduce my screen time and I slept for 6 hours. I've done well. Let me do myself an English breakfast. So you see how sometimes these very little things, It's your how the meaning you make out of them that influences the role they have on your well-being. Invest in courses, read books, be part of experiences that grow you. Me, I don't have friends. Me, I don't go anywhere. I'm always in my room. Start going out. Go to how do you call it? Is it Eventbrite? You will find 101 programs that are being hosted. Some are free. If they are paid ones that you can how do you call it? You know that it's going to add value to you. As part of giving yourself gifts, pay to attend some of those conferences. You will meet people there. You will hear people come and speak, and these conversations will empower you. It will give you a sense of direction. So if you are feeling stuck, this is the time to look out for, what do I need right now in my career, in my life, in my social life, in my relationships, whether in sexual relationships or just regular friendships. What do I need now? And if you've met me before, you will hear me say this a lot, that make friends, date, and marry people who have sense. Stop entertaining people that don't have common sense. Because if you marry sensible people, if you date sensible people, 50% of relationship problems will not even encounter them. So you're making that investment in yourself. Now, quality time. For you, you want the people who love you to spend quality time with you, to share their time with you. You, how much time are you spending with yourself? I started teaching so I'm not actively teaching them, but a lot of my friends or people who um, even know me from afar. I've had people who tell me that, now I never thought I could go and sit somewhere and have maybe lunch all by myself. I learned it from you. And these are not things I intentionally teach people. But for the last maybe 6 years or so, or 7 years, I decided that I would date myself. Even in marriage, I'm dating myself. So you can decide at the end of every month, you receive your salary. You know how much you receive. For those of us who are working, take maybe 5% or 10% of your salary. Look for places that you can afford within that, if 10% of your money is maybe 200 cities or 300 cities, what can 300 cities afford me? Sometimes you can go there with a book. Go to maybe a breakfast or a lunch restaurant. There are a lot of places in town. I'm not coming to do adverts for anybody, but there are a lot of places in town. I mentioned Afrikiko. You can go to Afrikiko. Get yourself maybe they have these nice mocktails and cocktails and all of those things. Buy some kebabs on the side. Sometimes it's just give me Coke, add ice and lemon. As simple as that. I remember when I started, doing solo dates. And I'll take pictures. I'll post on my stories and stuff. And hey, the when your boy be and I'm like, must you get a boy who will take you out before you go out? So start spending time with yourself. If you begin to like yourself enough, it will be very difficult for anybody who comes into your life to show you a kind of likeness or love that you just get you carried away, because you are creating systems of care, of love, of attention, of detail to yourself. And this is not even gender specific. So for the men on the webinar, take time for yourself too. I know that the culture in Ghana or even in Africa makes it look like men have to, men don't deserve to take care of themselves. As a man, you have to get acne, you have to get uh, razor bumps and things before we see that you're a man. Still taking care of yourself. Engage in a hobby, things you enjoy doing. If it's football, watch football. You know, if it's dancing, start learning how to dance. Like I said, I don't know how to dance salsa. I don't even have interest in dancing salsa. I don't want to learn. But I just go there because the energy there like improves my mood. For those of us who also believe in spending time in faith and spirituality, start reflecting on yourself. If you believe in prayer, pray. Meditations, journaling is also a spiritual exercise. So self care cuts from physical to spiritual to all the angles. I'll be bringing my session to an end very soon. Now, how do we overall improve our well being with all that we have seen? How we are showing love to ourselves, the detail in doing very little things for yourself, but it overall improves your well being. First of all, you have to know yourself. Self awareness is very key. If you don't know yourself, you will not know what pertains to you. Know your weaknesses, your strengths. Know what makes you happy. What are you passionate about? What are you grateful for? What triggers you? So if you know your weaknesses, you start learning how to overcome your weaknesses. You don't just sit there and say, me, this is how I am. Me, they have bad temper. If everybody knows me, if you do, I will show you one kind. So if you know that you have a bad temper and it's a weakness, why are you not reading around anger management? Why are you not going online to look for tools that help you manage your emotions? Why are you not learning emotional intelligence? Take care of your mental health. We took a look at the well-being continuum. The things that are draining you, the things that are draining your battery, your mental battery. Take stock of them. If you know yourself, you know the things that deteriorate your well-being, the activities you engage in. If you have addictive behaviors, overconsumption of alcohol, and you are dealing in other drugs, they will destroy your brain health. And once your brain health begins to decline, because your brain is at the center of your nervous system, it is giving instruction to all these other organs. So if your brain begins to decline, and mind you, some of these chemicals they shrink your brain. Because you can't see your brain, you will not know. But all some of these behaviors shrink your brain. But the more you begin to do things that improve upon the health of your brain, you realize that the brain has capacity to adapt easily. It takes very little things to do to your brain and it will take it from there. Take time for yourself. We talked about how to make time for yourself as part of self love. Build positive relationships. Stop dating people that don't have sense. Stop making friends with people who are not aligned to your growth. If you are in a relationship that is not serving you, this is the time to start taking care of yourself because your social network is also part of self care. So if you're in a toxic relationship, you are struggling to come out, seek professional help to hold your hands to win